What's up, everybody? Tricks Ridiculous back with another card review video, and in this one we are going to be talking about Namor. Now, Namor is a card you get pretty early on. He's in collection level or collection pool 1. You may have even seen a lot of Namor if you've been watching some of the demo footage or the devs kind of showing off the game in the trailers. And basically, he's a 4-mana, 5-power card with an ongoing ability that gets plus 5 power if he is the only card at your location. Now, Namor is actually a pretty strong card because what you can essentially do with him is get a lot of power out of very little investment. So a lot of times when you're playing, you're kind of invested in, one or two locations. You're not really spreading across all three. And then what you can do is you can kind of just, for 4 mana, drop Namor onto that third location that you weren't really investing in to begin with. Or maybe it's a location that doesn't really incentivize playing a lot of cards there. And you've suddenly got a massive, massive body there that your opponent's going to have to answer while still answering the 2 other locations that you're primarily invested in. So it kind of throws your opponent on a little bit of a loop and kind of can shift your strategy to kind of steal a location. And he has an ongoing ability, so if you're playing an ongoing deck, obviously pairs really well with a 6-drop like Spectrum. That gives all of your ongoing cards plus 2 power, so that'll bring them to 12. 12 for one card for 4 mana. I mean, that's a pretty sizable amount. It's not the most power you'll ever see, but 12 is a pretty sizable chunk for just a 4 mana investment. And then, like I said, being able to kind of invest all the rest of your cards into the other 2 locations, that's what makes him very powerful. Now, obviously, some of the locations that pair well with him are ones that either incentivize having only 1 card there or kind of disincentivize playing a lot of cards there, right? So Atlantis, that's obviously his namesake card. If you have only 1 card here, it gets plus 5 power, right? So pretty much pairs perfectly with him. Something like the Negative Zone, right? Cards here have minus 3 power. Well, that'll bring him down to a 7, but your opponent's going to have a hard time, catching up to a 7 when every single card there is minus 3 power. Same thing with a card like, or a location like Clintar. Same thing, but minus 2 power, right? These types of locations incentivize less cards that are just more powerful versus actually having a swarm at that location. Some other good ones would be like Murderworld, right? No one's going to play anything at Murderworld past before turn 3, I should say. So it'll be pretty fresh for dropping Namor there. Same thing with Metropolis. The card with the highest power here gets plus 3 power. He's probably going to be the highest individual card at that location. Again, your opponent might answer it, but at least they're having to invest in that third location, and then you can kind of shift your focus and throw them off their game. Onslaught, Citadel, ongoing effects are doubled. Of course, that'll give them an extra plus 5. Something like the Space Throne, right? Each player can only have 1 card there. Obviously, you would assume you want to drop your largest guy, but your largest guy isn't always that large. A lot of 6 drops, you could see like Spectrum is a great example, is a lot of times have a pretty low power but strong effects across the board. So something like the Space Throne, if you drop Namor there for a pretty cheap investment, you can steal that location. Something like the Vault is another good one if you see. That's a great target for Namor because large cards can't be played there because they can't be played on turn 6. So you drop Namor, they essentially have turn 5 to figure it out. Otherwise, you're probably winning that location. And then Clin. Right, you can't play cards here after turn 4, right? So if there's not much going on there, or you think you can win the location with just Namor, you could throw him on Kiln, and then if he wins that location, that's it, right? They can't. They're now stuck off of it. So overall, Namor, fantastic card. Definitely throw him in, especially if you've got an ongoing theme going on. And yeah, try him on those locations. I think it'll work out for you. If you learned something, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.